Sorry. um, I also realized that I don't think that the music is actually playing, just because of how the stream is set up right now. So I don't know why I was playing with music. I had music running that whole time. Um, oh, good. Oh, good. How is everybody? Hope you're all well. Um, yeah, so we're doing how do you call it? Halica? Halica? Um, First Sweet Trip album. I've heard VDC, great album. Um, and I'm eager to hear the rest. So, you guys should only be able to hear my microphone. Should be the way this works. I'll do a quick test here. Let me throw up the Spotify play bar. You guys shouldn't be able to hear this at all. So allow me to play this. You guys shouldn't be hearing anything, any music, just my voice, right? That should be the case. For those of you who don't know, this stream is, I'll probably have to cut up the stream after the fact. Okay, don't hear the music. Good, cool. So the way this is going to work, I will stream this right now with just my microphone. If you want to follow along with the music, you'll have to play with Spotify on your own machine, whether it's PC, mobile, whatever. I'll have the Spotify play bar down there so you guys can access it. And then after the fact, I will upload this very same stream with the music attached, and it will be in an unlisted video in the description. So if you don't want to watch without the music, you can just go away and not watch, and then come back and wait for the VOD, which will have the link to the actual music in the video in the description, kind of like what we did with OK Human. This is the second live reaction I've done, live full album reaction, so it should be fun. Doobie is here. Anthony is here. Your name was different, right? Weren't you Fine Tune, if I'm not mistaken? We got Drew here. Welcome, everybody. I'm just going to kill a little bit more time. I'll trim this opening off the stream later on. I haven't even hit record yet on my MP4 for the upload yet. Yeah, this discussion should be fun. I have something of a busy week this week, so I'll probably record the discussion next week. I have some family in town for some somewhat serious business. I don't want to go too into depth, but relatives that had someone in like a nursing home here, person in the nursing home died, so they were traveling back. So we get to see some family, but it's kind of under sad circumstances. But next week, I'm hoping to get the Joy Division discussion recorded, and then sometime after that, the New Order. New Order is going to definitely be the biggest, but should be a lot of fun. So we got 8 people watching now. I think we're going to start somewhat soon. So I'll just kind of kill a little bit more time. We have 7 tracks on this thing. 55-minute album, 7 tracks. Interested to see Sweet Trip's first, foray into music here, as far as like an official full release. Should be quite interesting. Okay. So, 8 concurrent viewers, 2 likes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Amazing. I posted it in my Discord, which, whoops, I will make that go away for a second while I look at the Discord. I don't know if anyone has actually seen it on my Discord. There you go. Hi, Wotek. Is that how I say your name? Wotek? Wojtek? Hello, good to see you. We will start very soon. It's a 55-minute album, so I don't want to delay, and we will listen to it in one sitting. If I have to go to the bathroom, then I'm just gonna let it play, and I'll try to go fast. Such is the way. Oh, your microphones. Oh, I see. Cool. Okay, guys, I think we're gonna start. Everybody ready? I'll start recording soon. In fact, I'll just do that right now. Oh, wait. Oh, you're Ralph? I always find it interesting to see like Discord users and their like what their YouTube usernames are, because sometimes they're not the exact same thing, and it always throws me for a loop. So good to see you guys. I think we're gonna start. You guys can jump in, hop in, drop in. You guys can Scott Joplin whenever you feel like it. So the way this is gonna work is I will count down 3, 2, 1, play. On play, we hit play, and the album will play through in its entirety. We're going to go all the way through all 55 minutes. I'll try not to take any bathroom breaks. And we'll just listen to it front to back, okay? So I'll give you guys a moment to set up while I get my recording going. Okay, we are recording. Cool. Link is in the description for Spotify if you guys want to follow along. And then we'll do the countdown here shortly. And if you guys ever fall out of sync or whatever, the bar right down there. So, all right, I think we're going to go. So, countdown, 3, 2, 1, go. On go, we hit play. So, I think we're at a good volume right about in the middle. No idea what this album is like, so let's rock. 3, 2, 1, go. Very simple so far. I'll look up on my phone since I can't use either monitor right now. I know that there are some people who like Halica most of the three, which I find interesting. I feel like You Will Never Know Why will probably be my favorite just from what I've heard people talk about it. But we'll see how this one holds up. I'm going to go to Rate Your Music. This is fairly ambient so far, with some IDM elements. Sweet Trip. So this has a 3.5. VDC has a 4.03, and You'll Never Know Why has a 4, exact 4. So this is fairly close to the next two. Oh, I need to make the... Pardon me, guys. Hold on. I just need to turn off the chat for a split second. I need to change the title of this. No music in video. Follow along with Spotify play bar. Save. There we go. This is nice. Let me turn this back on. Yeah, last several years, it seems like Sweet Trip has had this kind of uptick. Because I think I listened in 2019, VDC. Sweet Trip and Fishman's. They become the new Neutral Milk Hotel. This album was? Or VDC? Well, this one's 3.5. VDC is just over 4 now. I assume you're talking about VDC. Which, like, VDC is not perfect, but it is very good. That international melody, man. It's worth listening to the whole album for. What do I compare this to? It's like Aphex Twin, but not as experimental. It definitely has an ambient element to it. I'm reminded a little bit of like C418's music, with the Minecraft soundtrack. But it has this weird 90s quirk to it. No, not at all. It's great, but it's not the favorite album that I've reacted to. Favorite album that I've reacted to is probably Queen is Dead. Like, even though I didn't love it during the reaction, it's in my top 10, which hasn't really happened with any other album I've reacted to. Is it my favorite reaction I've done? No. But of the albums I've reacted to, it's become one of my favorites. Souvlaki, if that counts. I do like Saracen Calypso and The Deep Time. Obviously, Loveless is great. I've never heard of Autumn's Grey. Or Autumn. Is it Grey Solace by Autumn or Autumn's Grey? And they made an album called Solace. My favorite reaction. I kind of like the different class, the Pulp reaction, because I got somewhat drunk as I was doing it. And so, like, it got really long. It's one of my longest reactions for no good reason. But I kept, like, saying the same things over and over. Oh, that's the band name. I've never heard of them. But, like, people seem to enjoy it. And in a way, I kind of do too, even though, like, I feel like I repeated myself a lot. But I do want to do Color of Spring. And I very much want to do Mark Hollis's solo record. Well, so far this track is very much what I love about Sweet Trip. This is good. It's bouncy, it's upbeat, but it's also slow. It's weird how they're able to do that. They're upbeat in the percussion, but they're like subtle and slow and ambient in the instrumentation with everything other than the percussion. The percussion is what keeps it alive. These are definitely easier. And I like having the chat. The chat is a lot of fun. Um, but this is an easier way for me to get more albums done. Um, I wasn't drunk. I was between buzzed and drunk. Like by the end of it, I definitely had to stop drinking because I had had a little too much for just drinking at home. Um, but sometimes that's happened a few times. But different class was definitely the most intoxicated I've gotten. Um, but I do like doing these live reactions a little bit more. Um, but I'm not going to forsake doing the edited HD reactions because I think there's a place for both. Hip hop reviews, maybe depends on the hip hop. Fish is coming to an end. This was a nice track. I didn't love it, but it was pretty nice. Pulse is the next track, 10 minutes. I do have Bioconstructor on my list for like one-off albums. I don't think I have Molchat Doma though. All right, Fish is ending. We're going into Pulse. Pulse. If you're asking me, I have no idea who Donovan is or what Donovan is. Uh-oh. The beats are coming. The problem I have with hip hop isn't even fully the music, it's the lyrics. Like, I don't relate to really much of anything that's talked about in hip hop. And usually the instrumentation is quite abrasive or in your face or generic. Um, Whereas, like, I've heard a few Tribe Called Quest tracks that I'm like, oh, this ain't bad. They're a little more upbeat, a little brighter. I dig that. That might be really, you know, white bread of me to say, but I mean, it's the same reason I don't go to Swans all the time. It's like I don't love to be unsettled by music. I don't really do reactions to like um, things that aren't already like a substantial thing. Maybe in like a future hangout, but not in these. Not in like this video is just for Sweet Trip. But maybe in like a future hangout stream, I'll listen to your music. Mos Def's record. Thank you for asking that, though. I don't want anyone to feel afraid or scared to ask anything. You should give Avantdale's self-titled a listen, though. He lives over live jazz instrumentation and his lyrics about his life and nostalgia. Avantdale's? This one's okay so far. Oh, he raps over live jazz instrumentation? I forgive you, Twig. Just be sure to get a hall pass next time. No, I love you guys talking in the chat. And this is an ambient album, so we're all here for the chat right now. There is not a lot to talk about with this music. It's nice, but there isn't a lot to talk about. I feel like it makes sense that you would like this more than the other two, Twig, because this has a little bit more of an Aphex vibe. It's not as experimental. It's like that perfect ambient IDM mix. Fish was good. Had some smatterings of dream pop in there. That's one thing I like about Sweet Trip is how they do these vocals. They do these like synthy stuff. There are these synthy things combined with these techno beats, but then they'll just throw in some acoustic guitar with reverb on it, and it's like, ooh, that's nice. Breakbeat and acid. Oh no. An album for wintertime, Victoria Land by Cocteau Twins. One of the best winter albums you could listen to. Da da da. I kind of want a refill on my drink, but I'm not going to get up to get it. Yayayayis? Never heard of that. I like fish more than this one so far. This one isn't bad though. The thing I liked about VDC was the occasional really like hooky pop melody with these ambient techno and dream pop vibes to them. So far, this has just been pretty simple ambient techno or ambient IDM. Is Mezzanine still winning in the poll? Yep, 45%, 11 votes. Do I like post-hardcore? Spiderland is about as far as close to post-hardcore as I get. You updated it? Is Breath of the Wild still number one? Guys, do I have like 1 minute to go refill my drink? Is that okay? Will anything change? I'm surprised Mezzanine has done as well as it has. Big fan. Who's big fan? I don't want to pause though. How about, can I wait until like the track is over? Will that be easy enough? And then I'll just do another countdown for the next track. Is that easier? You should do more videos that are not reacts, like tier lists. I want to do more. I have another comment video coming up. I have the comment pictures ready. I just need to film it. And I have been wanting to do more tier lists or starter kits because those are easy to do. And I know like people enjoy them, and I have more subscribers now than when I first started doing those. I find it funny that Peter Gabriel was the one you hated. I thought the Kinks would have been the one that you didn't like. Life is short, get your drink. All right, we're going to do it, guys. We're going to pause after Pulse. People who are watching the video with the music, it doesn't matter. You can just skip a minute and I'll be back and the music will play. The production is really nice on this, though, for a debut album. It's literally just like ginger ale and vodka. It's nothing special. All right, we're approaching the end. There it is. Okay, so follow me. There it is. I will be right back. Hope you guys have been spreading rumors and illicit gossip while I've been gone. Dragon's milk? Is that the stout? That crazy stout with like the really high ABV? I want to try that. Yoo-hoo. You're drinking Yoo-hoo? Dude. If only I had some right now. Why didn't I think this through? I should have bought Yoo-hoo knowing I would do sweet trip reactions. Personally, this is my least favorite Sweet Trip album, but that's not saying much because every Sweet Trip album for me is a 10. I find that funny. Personally, this is my least favorite, but they're all the same to me. All right, if you're all ready, I'm gonna let you guys take a moment. We'll start up here again. Bourbon barrel aged stout coffee. Oh, dude. I do a guys' night with a few friends. We get together, we drink, we smoke pipes and cigars, we talk philosophy and theology, and we play chess and poker. And they were mentioning how they had dragon's milk, and they explained it to me just like that. And as soon as I heard that, I just started salivating. I was like, I gotta try that. And they only come in like 4-packs. But I'm like, dude, that's like right up my alley. What is the next band binge you're going to be reacting to? We're going to Pavement next, I think. Let me double check. I think we're going Pavement next after the Pole album. Yep. Maui, Zowie, Bright in the Corners, Terror, Twilight, and then Modest Mouse, Cure, Sonic Youth, David Bowie, Pixies, REM, Yola Tango, Boards of Canada, Rolling Stone, Kraftwerk. That's what I have on my list. Okay. If we're all ready, I will start the countdown again for Follow Me. So, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going to hit play. 3, 2, 1, go. Looks like I'm drinking pee, which I am. Mezzanine will have to be an edited video. I'm sorry. I understand the value of doing these live streams, though, because people get to see the whole experience and talk to me through it. I kind of wish I could live stream my reaction of my edited videos, but there's never been a good way for me to do that I can figure out. I know. It's like if copyright wasn't a problem, I would live stream every reaction. Yeah, Twig. I've already reacted to like most of your favorite stuff that's popular. So everything else you have is like obscure. No one readily wants it immediately at the moment. Not to say I won't get to it later. I like to have a small variety, which is why like doing the electronic albums I knew wouldn't get a lot of views, but I did them because I wanted to do them. And also it's like I like having a backlog. Like I like making content just to make content, even if it's not always the most popular thing. It's like I'm glad I got Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin done because that's like, those will get me views, but also like I like getting things like electronic under my belt because this is very music boxy. Sorry. I just like having a big repertoire of things that people can go back and look through, There's probably people now to this day who are coming across my channel and being like, oh, look at all this guy has done. There's a few things in here for me that I like. And it's like, it makes it worth it. Never say never. I might react to Madonna. I might react to Britney Spears or The Weeknd. I don't know. You never know, man. Prince probably has to happen at some point, even though I feel like I need to ease into those genres through other means. favorite album that I've reacted to is probably Queen is Dead. It wasn't my favorite during the reaction, obviously, if you've seen that. But it's in my top 10 now. Other ones that I've really liked. Let me just look through the playlist. I know I loved the Talk Talk albums. And I still occasionally go back to those. I know Twig was one of the first people. Twig was one of the people who was more into music than like I was and still am. But he had subscribed to me like before I started even doing reactions in 2018. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I know Prince is going to be like a David Bowie length epic binge if I ever get around to doing him, or when I get around to doing him, I should say. Let me go to the playlists. Let's see. What are ones that I really dig now? I like Today by Galaxy 500. Queen is Dead by the Smiths. Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are Floating in Space is a solid album. Whoa. Boom Bam Beep Boop. Heaven or Las Vegas. Obviously, a lot of the Cocteau Twins albums I like. Long Season. Fishmans. The live album. Woof. Love it. Turn on the Bright Lights, I dig. Different Class, I dig. Laughing Stock, I love. The New Order albums. Low Life and Brotherhood and Technique, my 3 favorites. Treasure, Cocteau Twins. Wow, this track is vibing out right now. I mean, I like Low by David Bowie. Station to Station has grown on me too. Morrissey, Vauxhall and I, great album. Victoria Land, Spirit of Eden. Piper at the Gates of Dawn, that was a cool find. The Doors, self-titled, I actually enjoy a fair amount. I don't go back to it often, but I like it. Some of the Led Zeppelin stuff. Dots and Loops and Cobra, those are cool albums. That's about it as far as like big notable ones that I've taken away. Music Complete, it hasn't grown on me a lot. It grew on me a little bit, but like I already really liked it on first listen. Definitely the best post Technique album, I think. Cocteau and Early Cranberries. It's not bad. This track wasn't bad. It kind of kicked up a little bit in the last half, which was nice. I don't know if I love the vibe as much. It's not super chill. It still has an energy to it, and I like chillness. Although this is chill. Tutti frutti. Acoustic guitar. Major 7 chords. I'm such a sucker. I mean, if you've heard any of my original music, I use major 7 chords all the damn time. No. False. I like how the last Smiths track I reacted to was Golden Lights. I'm just going to let that sit in the air for a little while. This might be my favorite so far, next to Fish. All Day Long is one of my favorite New Order tracks. Twig hates post-punk, so... And you dig post-punk, so it's like this civil war. Pennsylvania versus Poland. All Day Long was from Brotherhood. Brotherhood has a few of my favorite tracks. It doesn't have all, like, as an album I like it the most, but it does not have all of my favorite New Order songs. Can you guys see that? Look at that. Okay, New Order. I feel okay kind of like talking to you guys and like interacting over the top of this ambient thing that I'm supposed to be reacting to. Peter Seville was solid. If you could pick 2 currently active bands to collaborate on an album together, who'd they be? Ooh. Jeez. That's a good question. I really like that question. Wild Nothing and Alex G. Wild Nothing and Dayglow. Dive, Diiv, and Candy Claus. Coldplay and Radiohead. Daft Punk and the Strokes. Well, that was Instant Crush, right? Blonde Redhead and Radiohead. Blonde Radiohead. Blonde Radiohead. Or like you could get even crazier. You could go like Slow Dive and I don't even know. What would a Slow Dive and Grouper collab sound like? I've already heard Loveless. I really dig Loveless. Gosh, that's such a good question that I feel like I could talk about for a long time. But let me go back to New Order. Yeah, Brotherhood, I like Paradise As It Is When It Was. Way of Life is really solid. Bizarre Love Triangle, best new wave track. All Day Long, one of my favorite New Order tracks. Every Little Counts is a good closer, but that's it that I like off that album. 90s female backing vocals plus cold electronic music. Ooh, yeah, imagine if you had like the Movement New Order with like the backing vocals of Republic New Order. Wow. If you had to choose 4 tracks from the Fishman's live performance to still exist while the others would be gone forever, which ones would it be? Easy. Easy. I could probably even do it without looking at the thing. Night Cruising, In the Air, Long Season, and I can't get them all. Hold on, I have to look. The 4th one is probably hard. The hardest. Shake in the Air? I don't know. A Happy Person and Unreliable Angel are strong too. But those 3, Night Cruising, In the Flight, Long Season, easy. Smiling Days is okay. It's not like one of the best though. If you're going for like a variety of the different genres that they toyed with, then that's a good choice. Yeah, I think this track, Come to Me, is my favorite next to Fish. This has been a good vibe. I put It'll End in Tears in a poll one time and I didn't get enough votes. Oh, Twig. Oh, no. Oh, no. Long Season Live is second best behind Sexy Back? Is this a troll answer? Star Life. Come to Me was good. I like that track. Dude. The hottest of takes. Whoa, this is very distorty. What is the lyric? All the other boys won't know how to act. All the other girls won't know how to act. I'm bringing sexy back. All the other boys won't know how to act. That's all I know from the song. By the way, I'm re-releasing an EP I made in 2015. It's a noise, gothic, rock, folk. I mean, all my basic genres, but it has noise and gothic splattered onto it. I'm re-releasing that soon on Bandcamp and YouTube. I kind of quickly remastered it, but it's all the original recordings from 2015. It's very sloppy and messy, but I figured I'd remaster it and just get it out there. Did you not enjoy the end to Kathy's song by Red House Painters? I don't remember Kathy's song. I think I had that album on my phone. What is Kathy's song? Oh, Katie's song? Sorry, hold on. No, I like that. I don't like it as much as like the first part of the song, but it's a nice outro. I've heard this song multiple times since I did the reaction. I found an album based on weather channels with about 360 songs on it. What's your opinion on that? An album based on weather channels? What does that mean? Longest album you've heard? Probably 96 love songs, 69 love songs, sorry. That's most likely the longest one I've heard, which is what, over 2 hours? I don't know how I feel about this track. It's been a little hit and miss for me. I haven't watched Stop Making Sense. Honestly, like, I don't gravitate towards talking heads personally, subjectively. So anytime I go to talking heads, it's usually because people make me do it. So, not that I have anything against them, it's just so quirky that I can barely vibe. What's this album called? If you have broken translation, if you have guests over and want to play something that's going to safely, consistently set a damn good vibe, it isn't already mainstream, what would that be? Hmm. What would it be? I mean, I'd gravitate towards dream pop because that's my safe space that I know and I'm comfortable with. And I think it's very safe. Like you said, safely set a good vibe. It'd probably be dream pop. So I'd go towards like always, or however you spell it, or beach house. Um, because like if you have people over, you don't want to set a weird vibe. You want to set like a good party, a comfortable party vibe. Um, so something like dream pop isn't bad. Light pop is fine too, like Fleetwood Mac. Folk can be okay. Yeah. So it depends on the person. Like I've tried to like I have like so much, you know, music on here that I've tried to make good playlists from it, and it can be hard sometimes. Depends on the people you're with. Because I have people who are not into rock in a party sense, and I have people who are. And then I have my parents who only enjoy the Highwaymen and Willie Nelson and the Righteous Brothers, you know? I do have an RYM account. It should just be my name. Here, I'll have to turn you guys off for a split second, but I can link it. Rate your music. There we go. There's my thing. If you want to add me, you can add me. I don't use it often. I'll try to rate when I can remember, but I don't often use it. Unchained song, man. Yeah, it's like if you do like a card trick and you're like, okay, what's the first album you see? Or like, what's the album that sticks in your head? And like, was it Viva La Vida? Was it Rumors? This track has been very low key so far. Uh, well, I mean, Elvis is like more macho, but Roy Orbison definitely has that suave thing going on. I'll find it. Don't worry about it. I haven't had to pee this whole album. I'm impressed. And like my drink is kind of low again. This is the pee of my enemies that I've slain. I'm drinking their pee. Give up 2.5 out of 5. What? Are you looking through my RYM? What's give up? My thoughts on Depeche Mode are non existent because I have only heard a cover of Personal Jesus. That's the only exposure to Depeche Mode I've ever had. I've done a reaction to either or. It's on the channel if you want to watch it. And I've heard Needle in the Hay and Miss Misery. I've seen Good Will Hunting. Oh, did I give it a 2.5? It'd probably be like a 3 nowadays. I don't love that album. I'm not a huge Ben Gibbard fan. I know a lot of people really cherish it, but I just don't vibe. It's not like a quality thing. It's just I don't vibe with it. I don't like rap because Ben Shapiro told me it wasn't music. Sorry, I can't say it with a straight face. This track has actually been kind of nice. It's gone through some different phases. Like, so far, this whole album has actually been fairly pleasant. It's not as immediate as VDC, Velocity Design Comfort. It's more ambient and chill. But yeah, I'm not about to say that rap isn't music. I'm not going to go that far. I will say, for someone who is more conservative politically, conservative pundits and commentators have the worst opinions when it comes to art. Like, when I hear them talk about music and movies, like, I want to shoot myself in the head. I'm so disappointed in them. David Byrne broke into my house yesterday and told me my life is trash. He did the same thing to me, too. I felt great afterwards. That's true. That's true. You can't deny it. I do like what Scorsese said about Marvel not being cinema, though, and I'm like, he kind of is right. Kind of. Jelly Charm, last track. What we got? I'm curious how many of you, it says there's 12 people watching. How many of you are actually listening along versus just watching me bob my head and do weird things? Ed Wood is great. Dude, Plan 9 from Outer Space. Okay, so some people are watching with music. That's nice. So most people are listening. Okay, good to know. Man in Silence. One of the best art films of all time. It's 13 hours long. Not a word is said. Yeah, the movie by Tim Burton. I mean, I've seen Ed Wood, the movie by Tim Burton, and I've also seen Plan 9 by Ed Wood with the riff tracks commentary. It's all good, Luca. Marvel is to cinema what Harry Styles, Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes are to pop. It's not bad, but it's a formula, and you can expect what you get to be expected. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's phoned in. While there is a lot of money and talent behind it, it's not breaking the mold. You know. Um, hmm. Plan 9 is something special. It really is. And also, it was in a Mystery Science Theater episode. They did, what was it? The Sinister Urge? That was an Ed Wood movie? That was a good episode. MST is my favorite comedy show. At least Harry Styles is trying to be unique, unlike his other One Direction peers. What are my favorite movies? In order, I have my top 5. First is 2001: A Space Odyssey. Um, and then, oh gosh, The Sting, The Apartment. 5 is Clockwork Orange. What's 4? Sleuth. 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Sting, The Apartment, Sleuth, Clockwork Orange. You've seen every episode of MST? Then you're my favorite person. What's the dumbest music take you've ever heard? Head on over to Hot Music Takes on my Discord to see some really bad takes. There's been a few. I don't know, man. I mean, I've heard them all. It's. I get so desensitized to it. I love The Lighthouse. Lighthouse has gotten like forgotten. That was such a good movie. Loved it. One of my favorites of the last like 5 years, honestly. You listen to free jazz? I don't listen to a lot of jazz. I like modal jazz. I like cool jazz. The different genres of jazz I'm not super familiar with. I have seen Man on the Moon, and I love Andy Kaufman. Dude, his Tony Clifton stuff, so funny. Zamuda? Bob Zamuda? What kind of name is that? Zamuda? Maybe something like Radiohead really dropped in quality after Creep. They could have done so much better. That is a hot take. That's someone who's so into alt rock and grunge that they just haven't grown up since 1991. This track has been okay. I don't love it as a closer, but it's been fine. Fish, Come to Me, and Traces have been my favorites so far. Pulse was okay. Follow Me was okay. Starlife was interesting. This one was interesting. Creep is actually a good song. Like music theory wise, like as far as like in its time and place, I don't know. But like music theory wise, there's a lot of good stuff happening there. It's just gotten so memeified, and you know, they've made such better music and complicated and interesting music since then that it just has been overshadowed. Oh, Sponge. In Rainbows, though. Dude, you love In Rainbows Disc 2. That's your favorite Radiohead, but the Disc 1 is 0.5? In Rainbows is like their best mix of experimental and rock. Do you like the original Coldplay albums aside from their current status? Yes. These days, I don't listen to much except for some Viva tracks. But like, there's tracks on Parachutes that are okay. There's tracks on Rush of Blood that are okay. There's a few tracks on X and Y that are okay. Viva has some really interesting moments that I think are worth paying attention to. After that, it gets really spotty. On a Friday. Yeah, Boards of Canada, that's coming up. That will happen. As long as I don't interject more things before that. This reaction is almost over. Amnesiac is good. It gets a lot of hate, but there's some really good quality moments on it. I kind of wish the jazz elements of Amnesiac had made it onto Kid A in some ways. I've heard a little bit of Boards of Canada. It is hard to parse. That's the end of the album, guys. It's over. It's done. Album is over. We did it. What do you guys think of this album? Let me know. I'll talk about it. Like I said, Fish, Come to Me, and Traces were my favorites, I think. But really, there wasn't any weak moments on here. Starlife was kind of weird. Jelly Charm had good moments. I don't remember Follow Me all that much. Pulse may be my least favorite. Hard to say. But this was good. This was good. I don't like it as much as VDC though. But as a background album, like it like I have to qualify this because it depends on what you're coming to music for, right? Like you listen to VDC and that like you can listen to that music actively and you get something out of it. You can also listen to it in the background and get something out of it. This kind of album is hard to listen to actively and get something out of it. At least for me. When it comes to ambient, I need to zone out a little bit. Mainly because I'm just busy. I like having something to zone out to. And this is a good zone out album. Like I'll definitely put these tracks on in the future when I want to zone out to stuff. See Twig, good to have you here. But this one definitely was background. It wasn't as engaging or even dynamic or experimental as VDC was, which was their next album, right? They did this, so they got, you had Allura in 1999, which was an EP, right? You had Halica, which we just listened to, 98. VDC was 2003. And then you had You Will Never Know Why after that. So, I like VDC more, but it just depends on the reasons you come to the albums. So, what are you guys saying here? How did the damn drum solo on Long Season studio version like that sounded incredible? Exactly. Decent, definitely not what I like them for. Likewise, to a degree, it depends, because like maybe on my mood, I'd like Halica over VDC. Like a 7, pretty cool, but not amazing. Yeah, that's how I feel. Really solid debut, though. Really solid debut. More likely than not, You Will Never Know Why will be my next live reaction, just so I can have it out of the way, so that when Sweet Trip drops their next big album, I can do a proper reaction for it. And I'd also even like to, if possible, like interview Rob and Valerie. Valerie follows me on Instagram, oddly enough. Rob had posted my, like a little thumbnail for my VDC reaction on his Instagram. It's been deleted since because he like wiped a lot of his Instagram posts. But he posted that thumbnail being like, interesting reaction. And then Valerie Cooper followed me on Instagram, and she's liked some of my posts that are just pictures of my family, which is crazy. But like I'd be down to like interview them and like take questions from Discord and stuff like that, as to like, you know, talking about their process or their history or what have you. But that's kind of why I've been prioritizing Sweet Trip on these live reactions. It's like I want to get their discography done, so I've heard it and I'm familiar with it, so I can react to their new album and possibly interview them if possible. Favorite ambient album is Eno, Mobius, Rodalius, After the Heat. You'll Never Know Why is by far the best Sweet Trip album. It's top 5 least favorite albums. You'll Never Know Why is almost on par with VDC. Like the wildly different opinions on that. I love Valerie. She is a cutie. I think VDC is much more interesting than You Will Never Know Why. Yeah. So stay tuned, guys, for not only the Joy Division reaction, which will hopefully be next week. I'm going to try to get, like I said, I have some family stuff going on this week, so I'll be busy. I'll try to get the comments video recorded. We'll try to get You'll Never Know Why taken care of in the next week as well, maybe. We'll see how it goes. But Mazzy Star when? In the future. In the future. So, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you missed the stream and didn't get to hear it with the music, I'll have that uploaded in the description, hopefully, as long as there's no copyright issues. So thank you, everybody. Stay tuned for more, for more material, and I will see you later. Godspeed.